Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Well, welcome back, everybody. I appreciate you being with us today. And I have found an amazing woman who is a coach. She's an author. She's an artist. And she's also thin on purpose, which is the title of her book. And we're going to talk about all of that today, especially if you're looking to get healthier and looking at, well, I'm going to say that word, diet. Sometimes that's not the best word, but we're going to dig deeper into that. Barbara Garro is with us. Barbara, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Steve. Thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, it's great to have you here. And there's so much to talk about. I know we're going to talk about the book, but I have to tell you, your art is amazing. And it's on your website, Barbara Garro. That's 2 R's. Oh, Barbara, Garro.com. But that's, it's amazing, the stuff you do. How long have you been an artist?
When 2001 came along and they tore down those towers, I said, if not now, when? And I took back my art after September 11th, 2001. Some of my art's behind me, and I took back my art, and I studied as a teenager. I wanted to be a fine artist. And what happened was I saw Van Gogh cut off his ear and drank absinthe, which I didn't like. And I went into the corporate world and I wanted to make money, and I wasn't going to be able to make it as an artist. So after September 11th, 2001, I said, my time now.
Wow. Good for you. And by the way, I've been doing broadcasting for, I'm not even going to tell you how many decades, but it's a lot. I wanted to be an artist. I was almost a syndicated cartoonist, but it's hard to make money unless you hit the big time. And at that point, I went in a different direction where I am now. So I appreciate your story and your love of art.
And it's never too late, Steve. I can teach you.
You know what? People say to me, why don't you still draw? Why don't you still do art? And I say, well, I don't have the time right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to.
That's why I limit myself to 100 clients. That's 75 hours a week at 45-minute sessions. And that's all I can do because I have a 5-day-a-week, 5 Minutes with Jesus radio show. I have a life, and I've got paintings I want to do sitting in my studio that I want to start. So I won't take any more than 100 clients and 50 on a waiting list.
Oof, you're the woman in demand here. Your medium of choice, is it acrylics?
I paint in water-based paints. I won't use the oils because they're toxic, but it's acrylic, it's cassine, it's watercolor, it's watercolor pencils. There's a lot of water-based type that are out there. And so my preference, though, is I really like acrylic.
Yeah, I do too, and watercolor. Kind of for me, they were always kind of the same. Yeah.
Me too. Cassine is fun, though.
Yeah, it's whatever you're feeling at the time. Let's talk about what you coach. We're going to get to your book in just a moment, but Thin on Purpose, what do you teach people? What do you coach them on?
Thin on Purpose is a lifestyle change program. So, number one, it's not a diet. I don't tell people what to eat. If I tell them they need to eat fruits and vegetables and proteins, first generation, none of this frozen, packaged, 500 ingredient toxic mess, okay? But I'm not going to tell them to eat broccoli. I'm not going to tell them to eat celery or apples or whatever. I'm just going to say you need to eat fruit and vegetables every day. But it's a lifestyle change. It is about feeling healthy. Healthy is the operative word. I have a client who is obese. She got scared when she weighed 260 pounds at 5'2". And she said, okay, I got to do something. So now she is 30 pounds thinner. It took her a year because she's a healthy, happy, loves her life person who is not eating because she's depressed, unhappy, or anything else. Her doctor does not tell her to lose weight because her numbers are great. So she has maintained 30 pounds down for 6 months, and she's
Wow.
happy.
Hmm. And when we talk about the diet,
Mm-hmm.
I just that word is
It's
such a
not.
negative word.
It's
No,
not.
I said the diet, not going on a diet.
Wait,
Uh,
Steve, a diet. There's a diet dance that is an $80 billion worldwide revenue producing non workable mess. That's a diet. And the diet dance is you get a bunch of people or you get an author to boss you around and tell you all the things that you should be doing. You lose
mhm.
weight. And as soon as you stop, guess what? The weight comes back, and
Yep.
most of the time it's more. I am not a deprivation, thin on purpose coach. They're in charge, they're in control. And if they stop being in control and they don't want to be in charge, I'm not their mommy, I'm not their counselor, I'm not their psychiatrist, and I'm not their psychologist.
Mm. So I'm going to change the word and we go to lifestyle.
It's a new life.
Yeah.
It's a new way. Thank you for changing that, because it's a new lifestyle. They think about what they're going to eat. They look at portions. Like, for an example, you buy a cake in the supermarket, tons of icing. It looks so delicious. It's 8 servings. Most people cut the cake in 5 slices, but it's 8 servings.
Guilty as charged because I had not even kidding. I just threw the cake out because it was on my counter for about a week, and a friend had brought it over because she had a gathering and people bought dessert and she had some extra stuff. So she like stopped by. Yeah, I'm just going to drop this off. And I found myself going back to it. And after a period of time, I noticed, that I ate, this much out of it. And it's like, it's got to go. It's got to go. It's hard, to say no. But how do you change somebody's mindset?
Steve, what you just said and that story you just told, you have the mindset of a thin person. And look at you, you are thin. If you were with a different mindset, you would say, oh, well, I got to finish this before it goes stale. And you would eat it.
Mm.
But you have a thin mindset and you can throw it out, give it away. But you have decided, I ate enough of this. That's the thin mindset. That's thin on purpose, thinking about something instead of automatic eating, grazing, eating when you're doing things. I eat when I eat. I'm not reading, I'm not watching television, watching movies. I don't get a big bucket of popcorn when I go to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat and do other things, because if you do, you eat 10 times as much.
Well, I will share something with you. Before I do, I want to go back to the cake for a moment. I did graze. I would walk by at like 11 o'clock at night and take a spoon and just some of the icing off and eat it. Then I come back later the next day. Um, I may have that mindset, but I need to work on it even further because, yeah, we have to treat ourselves, but the cake, I really didn't need that. Again, somebody brought it. I didn't buy it. But when I was a kid, I was very overweight. So it's always on my radar. I was bullied as a kid. And even now, at this moment, I need to lose about 20 pounds. I do.
I lost 38 pounds when I was 11 years old and looked like a little Italian meatball.
Mm. Wow.
And we had these slang books in school, and everybody said what they thought about people. And what was written in my slang book that I will never forget: big, fat, nice kid. I was
Mm.
11 years old, and I said, I don't want to be a big, fat, nice kid. I
Yeah.
want to be a nice kid, but not big and fat. And it took me a year to get those 11 pounds off.
It's
I mean,
I,
those 38 pounds off at 11.
right. And I understand where you're coming from. Uh, when my mom would buy me clothes, and I hated this word, and you don't hear it much anymore, but my size or the category of my size was husky. We have to buy husky
That
pants at Sears.
was
And
nice. Husky is nice. It's better than plus size.
I guess, but when you're an 11-year-old, it's just like, it plus and when you're bullied, it resonates with you. I didn't lose all that weight. I started progressively as I got into high school, but I was still chunky until I was in 11th grade, where I found media and broadcasting. And then I started editing videos, staying at school until like 11 o'clock at night, going back to school the next day. And I found something to take the place, I guess, of food because I
Exact of
focused on
eating.
something
You
else.
weren't thinking about eating all the time.
No.
But back to your story about Husky, I went to lose weight when my mom bought me size 18 shorts at 11 years old.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Mm. That, I got it. I totally understand it, totally relate to it. When you work with somebody, Barbara, what are some of the principles that you discuss with them, and how do you guide them along?
When I think about working with somebody, when I decide to work with somebody, it's intuition and whether or not I believe that they would make a commitment. So before I work with anybody, number one, they get a free 15-minute session with me if they think they might want to do this. And they can call me at 518-587-9999 after 7 o'clock at night. And I'll talk to them for 15 minutes and we'll see where it goes. If they say, okay, I'm in, then I say, the first thing I need is you to send me by postal mail. I do not do computer stuff. Postal mail, everything you've eaten and drunk, who you did it with, and what time you did it for 2 solid weeks. And what I don't want you to do is to say, oh my God, I'm not going to eat that other donut because I don't want to write it down. You have to be honest with me because I can't help you if I don't know what kind of an eater you are. And the second thing is they have to give me a list of all their meds, when they take them, and they have to get an okay from any of the medical people that they are seeing, both mental and physical, and get their okay before I will work with them. Wow. Because they might be taking meds that require them to eat 6 times a day or whatever. And I want to work with my ideal client is a healthy person who wants to shed some weight and wants to keep it off forever like me. 69 years plus. I'm proud of that. Everybody I know is so sick of hearing it, but I'm proud of it.
I don't think we're going to get your actual age, and I'm not going to ask because that would not probably be proper.
It's okay. I'm 80.
I knew that because I read up on you, and the reason I wanted to bring that out, you look amazing, and you're sharper than a lot of people at 30.
This is my hair. This is my color hair. I have never dyed it. I don't take any prescription meds. And I had 2 walks before I came on this show.
Amazing. Seriously, I'm not just saying that because you're with us today. Amazing. And I really mean you are sharper than some people who are 30. You really are. And with somebody working with you, the other part of it is the accountability. You're not going to let them slide. That this tough Italian lady.
I'm not going to do what a lot of diets do. I'm not going to boss them around. If they have a blip, we deal with it. If they have 10 blips in a row, I say bye-bye.
Yeah. Well, yes. And it's not that you're not being nice. Somebody has to want to do the work.
And I won't waste my time. I'm sorry. I'm not that nice.
But again, if somebody's not willing to do the work, even if you were a therapist and you're working with somebody and they're not doing what you're suggesting or making an attempt, everybody loses there. Why even waste the time? Your time and their time. I completely agree.
But they need to know they are in control all the time. They're in control of their attitude. And that's the attitude. It's like you want to learn how to ride a 2-wheel bike. Somebody can coach you. They can help you. They can give you tips and tricks and all that. Sure. They can't ride it for you. It
Yeah.
took me 2.5 months to learn how to ride a two-wheel bike. I don't know why, but I had a very patient coach, but she couldn't ride it for me. I can't lose weight for anybody.
I don't know how you remember when you first learned to ride a bike, unless it was recent, because I can't. And
I was 8 years old. I lived in Maple Shade, New Jersey, and my friend Carol Turner was 12 years old. And she went out there with me for an hour every single day for 2.5 months to help me ride her blue bike.
people, Barbara is doing something right if she can remember details like that, because I honestly cannot. I wouldn't even be able to. I had a red bike. I remember a color of one of them, but that I got nothing more for you. Can't remember. I don't know what it is. Have you always been somebody, Barbara, who focused on being healthy?
Healthy, positive. I spent the first 12 years of my life mostly in bed. I had asthma, I had bronchitis, I had double pneumonia, and every disease I got, I'd keep for 3 weeks. So I had allergies and asthma until puberty. So yeah, healthy lifestyle was important because people would tell me, "Oh, Barbara, you can't do this because you'll get sick or whatever." And I said, "Watch me."
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Is
said,
there
"Watch
one
me."
thing that you truly believe in terms of what you eat? Like some people will say, all right, this, and this is just, hypothetical. I've heard this before. I am 100. The secret is, have a glass of wine every day. Is there anything like that kind of pilots you in terms of habits?
I'll make it a two-part question. The first part is
Yes,
I
of course you
eat
will. You're you're that tough Italian lady. Go ahead.
I eat anything I want. I'll give you an example. Last Sunday, I went to my friend's house and I made Indian bread, naan pizza, vegetable pizza.
Ooh.
We had meatballs and sauce. I ate a half a bag of potato chips. I ate pistachio nuts. I ate homemade hot bread with butter and meatballs and all that stuff. And the next day, I gained 2 pounds. I got them off. All right. It's Friday. That was Sunday. But the second thing is there one thing I do? When I get up in the morning, I drink 1 cup of boiling water with one teaspoon of ghee in it and green tea in it and um, Vitavision for my eyes. They're little eye drops that help your eyes, your old eyes. Anyway, I drink that first. The second thing I drink is 2 cups of green tea. So hydrate your body with pure stuff. The ghee
Mm.
is your brain. Your brain needs grease. Always remember that. You go on these no fat diets or whatever, your brain doesn't get any, you can't think.
That is honestly, hydration is such a major thing. And I would take a guess and say that probably three-quarters of the population, even in the United States, are lacking hydration. And
Exactly. The person I told you about that weighed 260 pounds at 5'2", I work with people 1 time a month for 12 months if they're willing to go 12 months, and then I'm done. But the first thing I told her to do, 8 glasses of water a day.
yep.
Water, not tea, not coffee, not anything, water. And when she did that, she started losing. I didn't tell her to do anything else. But while she
Wow.
was drinking all that water, she couldn't be eating.
And right, and she's filled up, sure. But even short of that, hey, I'll be honest, I started drinking more water, um, taking fish oil. I had taken it way back and I got back on it. I noticed a difference in my skin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're 80% water, Steve, just
Yeah.
like me. And
And by the way, you're on point in terms of drinking something hot in the morning, typically something not coffee, but a warm beverage. I've heard many times, even recently, that that is so beneficial first thing in the morning for your digestion.
exactly. You don't digest if you don't do that. I don't take any prescription drugs at all. I am healthy. I have no digestion problems. I can eat anything I want, and I do, but I don't eat processed foods. I don't eat MSG. I don't eat Asian foods because they're loaded with MSG and salt and fat, and I don't want to gain weight.
Yeah.
But it's a
Yeah.
choice. I eat all the other stuff.
Well, you just said bread, and many people will say, "But I gotta stay away from bread. Don't eat bread. It's bad for you." Blah 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 blah. Maybe there's a little bit of truth in that, but that's because people are worried about gluten or excess carbs. Doesn't sound like you care.
I only eat good bread. If it comes in a plastic bag, I won't touch it. I eat fresh baked artisan type bread. I don't eat garbage bread.
Yeah.
I don't eat garbage food. I eat no frozen entrees. I am in control. I eat first generation food most of the time. That doesn't mean I don't eat a pizza with a lot of cheese on it or whatever, but I
Hmm.
don't eat it every day, and
Yeah.
I don't eat the whole pizza.
What is your favorite food?
Dark chocolate covered marshmallows
Ah,
and
yes.
bacon. I love bacon.
Have you ever had chocolate covered bacon?
I think it is ludicrous what they want to put chocolate on. I wouldn't touch chocolate covered bacon with a fork.
Don't
Did
knock
you
it if you
have
like
it? Have you had it?
it. Yes, I have. Yes. Yeah, it's actually quite good. Although, what's even better than that, if you like bacon, have you had, Barbara, bacon jam?
My friend bought this stupid bacon jam and she poured it all over a roast pork. I wanted to kill her.
Yeah, that sounds
I,
like too much.
oh man. Do you know what the real deal was though? The roast was good. It
Ah,
really was. But
mm,
I didn't want all those extra calories thrown on my meat, which I like first generation, just roasted with some spices.
yep, I'm the same
But it
exact
didn't
way.
taste bad, just like your bacon didn't taste bad. But you really need more grease and fat and sugar on top of your bacon, which is grease, fat, and sugar.
Not necessarily. It's call it a treat. Even the bacon jam, I'll put just a little bit on something and I'm good. Same thing like horseradish. Love horseradish on roast beef, but just a tiny bit, and that's the basically aside from maybe barbecue sauce. I don't do any condiments. No mayo, no mustard, no ketchup. To me, it changes the flavor of what I intended to eat in the first place.
There's a lot of that. I like honey mustard. I like hot stuff. I'm Italian. I
Mm,
like things that are hot.
yep.
I put cayenne pepper on darn near everything.
Uh, I'm addicted to garlic. I'll admit it. I'll put it on almost anything.
It's probably good you're doing Zoom if you're addicted to garlic.
Well, yes, yes. Well, the person I'm with, she's Italian, very, very Italian, and she loves garlic, so we're okay there. So
Yeah, that works.
yeah,
That
it
kind of
works.
works. I use a lot of garlic myself, but I live by myself.
Yeah. So we're almost out of time. I want to tell everybody if they want to work with you, what's your phone number again?
518 587 9999.
And if we go to your website, I'm looking here. Is your number on the website?
Should be.
Hmm.
And I'm on I have a YouTube channel. I'm on Twitter, Facebook. I'm I, I'm on Instagram, but not a
Gotcha.
lot. I
Yeah,
go on the computer once a day. That's it.
got it. Which is we all should be thinking that too. Uh, Barbara, fantastic talking with you. Learned so much. Your book is called Thin on Purpose. Is it
And I'm
out?
looking for a mainstream publisher. It'll be my seventh book. And all of them were published by mainstream publishers. I don't do self-publish, so please don't call me.
Gotcha. And where would we find your book?
You can't find it. I'm looking for a mainstream
Okay,
publisher to publish it. I
gotcha.
have researched all the chapters. I have it in chapters. It's this high. Can you see this high? Yeah,
I
it's
gotcha.
that high. But I don't write things that nobody wants.
Fully understand. Yeah. And if I was a publisher, I'd be looking at you and snapping you up in a second because you
Well, I hope
are
you're right.
You're a fiery, wonderful Italian lady who I'm just blown away how. You're sharper than people in their 30s and 40s. You're amazing. You really are, Barbara.
If they became thin on purpose, their brains would work like mine.
I'm seeing that, and you went down the path of eating healthy and a healthy mindset, and you also don't look your age, not even close to it. So all of that put together. Website is Barbara Garro, Garro, Barbara Garro.com. And Barbara, great talking with you. And
I enjoyed it. Thanks, Steve.
Same
You're
here.
a fun interview. I learned a lot about you too, which is great.
Yeah, well, it's great talking with you. It's your energy is so infectious and positive, and you've guilted me. There will be no chocolate cake this weekend, and I'm perfectly
No, don't do that.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Eat whatever you want, but when somebody comes to your door with a chocolate cake, if they come to my door with a chocolate cake, they go home with it.
Yeah, well, I should have, because if it's on the counter, it's going to be eaten at some point. And my daughter lives with me, and I figured, you know what, let me just leave it there. Of course, I'm using that as an excuse. She didn't even touch it once, only I did. But Barbara, a pleasure, and look forward to talking next time we get a chance.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.